I'm gonna punch it a little bit. So nothing displayed yet. Nothing displayed yet. And now it shows some road debris. It's braking. Oh, and an emergency stop. So a while ago, I took my Tesla Model Y that has full self-driving on it, and I tried some obstacle avoidance with it on my dirt road that you can see over here. And the main complaints were, one, you wanted to see it go faster. I was only getting up to maybe 20-ish miles an hour. Number two, you wanted to see more variable of obstacles. So that is what we're gonna do today. I have a child mannequin. I have an exercise ball. We can, put it in motion. We're gonna be moving a lot of these things. I have squirrel-sized objects. I have objects that look just like the dirt road, so they'll be hard to see, kind of even for a person. So we'll see if this brand new hardware 4 equipped Tesla Model Y will fare better, will do a good job, will do a bad job. Now, the number one thing, I know you're already commenting it, please comment it down below, but this is version 11. What about version 12? That's coming, in a year from now. Well, this is the version that's on the road right now that people are driving with. This is what's on my car, and if you have full self-driving, it's what's on your car. So that's what we're testing today. It's all we have available. We will redo this test when version 12 comes out. So leave some comments down below on things you want to see in this test, what I should do in the future, and make sure you come back to check out that future video. And when you look like this, putting dolls on a weird mannequin thing, sometimes you just want to be forgotten. And that's where today's sponsor, Delete Me, comes in. So just like we're gonna hope my Tesla is gonna dodge some threats, I'm gonna help you dodge some threats online with Delete Me. I personally use and trust Delete Me, a hands-free subscription service that scrubs your personal info from the web, ensuring your data doesn't get sold by data brokers. With Delete Me, I received my first privacy report in just 7 days, showing me all the sites my data was removed from. Data brokers are crafty entities selling your personal info online, exposing you to risks like identity theft, phishing, scams, and even doxing. It's like having unwanted obstacles in your life's path, just like the ones we're testing with my Tesla today. With Delete Me, I've experienced peace of mind knowing their experts are continually removing my personal information from hundreds of data brokers. It's like having an autopilot for your online journey, ensuring a smooth and secure ride. If you want to experience this too, use my dedicated 20% off code and sign up at joindeleteme.com/dirtytesla. It's time to protect not just your journey on the road, but also your journey online. So let's get back to dodging some obstacles with my Tesla. Thank you again to Delete Me for sponsoring today's video. All right, first run. Stephanie's gonna sit with me because there's a lot of mosquitoes out there, unless she needs to be moving stuff around. I'm gonna do my best to get up to like 30 to 40 miles an hour. The car kind of has a mind of its own though, and sometimes wants to go slower. So I'm gonna push it with the accelerator as much as I can to get it up to speed. And then of course, I'm gonna let off and let it do its thing, whatever it wants to, stop, go around, hit. I'm gonna, for some of the objects, not let it hit them, but here we go. So all we got to do is do a double tap. I'm going to see right there, limiting max speed for road type. So I'm going to speed it up. There we go. So I am not pressing the accelerator right now. It is doing everything all by itself. And we see the stroller and it just shows it on the display and it goes around it. So it was really close. I mean, if there was like actually a kid in there, that would be friggin' terrifying.
Yes.
But it did display like a little blob on the screen and it went around it. All right, so stroller test 2. We're gonna have a person at the stroller. Of course, I'll be a little more conservative this time since my wife's gonna be standing there. But here she comes, she's walking out into the road. The car is driving all by itself and it does display a person and it's slowing down. She's a grandma pushing that stroller and it is stopping for her. It's not moving. And now that she's moved out of the way, it scoots over and goes around her. So very nice. That was pretty much perfect. That was a pretty high speed, especially considering like a pedestrian crossing the road. There'd probably be traffic lights and things involved. Very good on that one. All right, one last stroller test. Wife is now gonna just stand in the middle of the road and see if the car will stop for her. Wait, of course I'm in full control. I can, the car's doing this all by itself. I will hit the brake if I need to. So she's just standing there. I thought she'd be more in the middle, but that's fine. So the car is gonna go around her. It's alarming. It showed her in red and alarmed and it's hitting the brake, but it didn't stop for her, which I find very strange. All right, next up, I get All right, next up, I get a lot of questions if the car will stop for squirrels, and I actually have had it slow down for squirrels before. So we're simulating it with a dog toy, and we'll do a static, so it's just gonna be sitting in the middle of the road not moving, and it is also gonna be moving. So let's do those tests. All right, so again, I'll do my best for a max speed of 40. I'm gonna let the car do whatever it wants. On my time, when the car avoided squirrels or braked for them, or I actually posted it to X a while ago, I was going about 25. So we will probably be going faster than that this time. And the squirrel was moving. So I'm not touching the accelerator or anything. I'm trying to, there we go, up to 40. We'll see what it wants to do. So I don't know if she's gonna move it. I assume this is the static test. There's no way it's gonna see this thing. It is braking a little bit, but there it is. Nope, right over it. Didn't care at all. All right, so static squirrel test was a fail. I've actually heard a lot of people say, well, you can't just brake for every little object in the road. So there is actually some debate around this. For me, I would definitely brake for a squirrel. I don't know why you wouldn't. But I showed one time where the car was stopping for a bird, and people were like, oh, I would have just hit it. Like, I think that's insane. But they're like, I would have just hit it. I can't risk, my car and the people around me for some bird. I don't know, if you can stop, why wouldn't you? But anyway, we're gonna go for I am not doing anything here. Let me speed it up a little bit. Now my foot is off the accelerator. We are going for the moving squirrel test. So she'll be pulling it across the road. She's off far to the right, so she will not interfere. And here it comes. There's the squirrel. There's the squirrel. We had a little braking, but no, it seems like it killed it. So no care for the squirrel in this scenario. All right, I don't know why I didn't have this full screen for you, so there you go. The squirrel was a fail. We squished it. Since we're on to animals, let's do the dog next. So I've done this before, but we'll do, again, static, just like a dog standing there, and then we'll try to make a move across the road and see how the car responds to both of that. That was another complaint last time, is like, okay, the dog's not just gonna be sitting there like you're showing. It's gonna be moving around, most likely, so let's try that. Here we go for the dog static test in the road, not moving. We gotta crank this up, see it doesn't want to, but it always seems to let me before we get over there. There we go, so up to 40. I see the dog. I see it. I would already be slowing down. The car, oh, it started to display it. It's displaying something here, and it's stopping. So right now it's showing the occupancy network, and it shows the dog in blue. It actually shows a dog graphic. Oh my gosh, that is sick. Look at that dog graphic. So I'm not touching anything. The car's decided to stop here and not move. Now it wants to try to go around. That is crazy. That's very cool. It looks like it shows the dog moving a little bit. So it has occupancy network and a dog graphic that's blue. And the car doesn't want to move. Let me grab my phone here really quick. I just want to get a close-up picture of this. All right, so I got my picture here, and we're still waiting. So the car just is sitting here waiting. It doesn't want to go. It's just waiting for it. So I'm going to press the accelerator and just see what it does. It has a little path around it, but I think it's not sure about the edge of the road there. So I'm pushing the accelerator right now, and now I've let off. And it seems like it almost lost the dog a little bit. I can't tell what's happening. I think the iPhone can, though. And I think we might have nudged the little dog there after I pressed the accelerator, to be clear. Did we touch the dog? Did we touch it? Did the car? Oh, okay. Was it super close, though? It was really close. Okay. I tapped the accelerator because it wasn't going to go. And it looked like then it kind of lost view. So that's where a lot of people are saying they want the front bumper camera. Is because if you get too close to something, now you lose view. I think it's like 2 feet in front of the car or something. It can't see. It didn't touch the dog. Okay, cool. All right, so now we got dog moving across the street. If it stopped for the static dog, I gotta imagine it's gonna stop for a moving dog, but hey, we gotta test it out. See here, just trying to crank this up to 40, and there we go. So we are past, well, we're gonna be around 30 miles per hour for this one. Wow, she's waiting until the last second. Ah! Oh, emergency stop! Oh no! All right, she waited till like the last second. That was hilarious. It's going, I heard it pop. Yeah. You waited till the last second for that one. No, that's cool. All right, that was good. It did alarm. And it did start hitting the brakes. So if this was a real scenario, I was, not even paying attention, I would have been like, whoa, and probably slammed the brakes. But it did hit it. I couldn't keep it upright. Yeah, right. That was the other thing. So, I mean, whatever. All right, we're done with the dog one. I mean, it didn't really look like a dog. It was just like being dragged across the ground. So not the best test, but whatever. That is what it is. We did get an alarm, and then, it kept going. So next we're going to go for some like garbage debris in the road. So this is a box. And this one, at least I can let it hit it, just kind of like the balloons. So there will just be a box in the road. I mean, this is a super realistic scenario. I'm going to just press it to get up to speed a little bit there. And now the car is taking over. Oh, there you go. There's debris in the road all the time, and we want to see if the car can avoid it. So I see it, but it is hard to see. We are slowing pretty good here, and blam. Oh, I hear it. Oh, man, yeah. Destroyed that box. So it does not care about garbage boxes in the road. So, yeah, that, went directly for it. I didn't have an alarm or anything. It starts to slow, but I think it's more because the bend in the road coming up is why it's starting to slow. So I don't think it saw that at all. That low to the ground, and it's also kind of similar to the color of the road. So, I mean, it's a small piece of debris. You'd want it to see that. Like, obviously, I could see it. If I wasn't paying attention, I would hit something like that. But paying attention, a person's not going to hit that at all. All right, so box was a fail. Next, this is a big old piece of cedar. It's slightly bigger than the box, but it's still similar in color to the road itself. So it's a pretty challenging one. I cannot let it hit this one because this thing would obliterate my car. It's a big, giant hunk of wood. But if I have to avoid it or hit the brake, I will. And if not, we'll see if the car can stop for it. So again, we're going to be getting up to 40 here if it'll let us. There we go. So 40, I mean, that is obvious in the road to me. Doesn't seem the car is seeing it. Oh, it's slowing. Again, this is for the curve, I think. And it's going around it, but not enough. So it kind of thought about it. It's warning me about going off the road. It kind of thought about going around that. It just didn't really have the ability. Let's just try it one more time and see if, it can do it. All right, so we'll do this one more time. I'll go up to 30. It obviously didn't do it. I don't know what speed we were at last time. So let's just give it a little more of an ability to avoid this, since obviously it didn't last time. All right, there you go, 30. So I don't know how fast it was going, but let's see. I did notice when I was talking to Stephanie after the fact, when I parked next to it, it did display a trash can on the screen. So yeah, it's not gonna avoid. See, it displays a trash can again. That's pretty interesting, but it doesn't actually avoid it. So I think it just maybe sees it too late. No, and it displays it as a trash can. Like right now, it has the occupancy network on there, and it shows you walking up to the car, so I know you're walking up, even though I'm looking here. See, there you are. Yeah. And it shows the occupancy network right there, and it even was displaying it like it shows a tiny car. And it even was displaying it as a trash can at some point, but it doesn't like avoid it. It almost does a little wiggle, but no. All right, chunk of wood was a no. What about an exercise ball? It's pretty big, and I'm not going to let it hit it because I think it'll go flying into the next dimension if I do. But we'll see if it'll go around it when it's static, and then we're also going to roll this one across the street, and we'll see if it'll hit it. So we're slowing. It does show something, and it shows that it wants to go around. So it's trying to decide which way to go. It's right in the middle. Oh. Wow, look, it shows a tiny little car. It bumped it. It's rolling away. And then it continues like, excuse me, get out of the way. Super interesting behavior. Why would it see something? It has no memory. So why is it seeing something and then kind of going around it and being like, I don't see it anymore. Bye-bye. I don't know. It even showed it as a tiny little vehicle for a second there. That was very interesting. I just saw such a strange decision to, yeah, we'll just keep going. All right, really interesting behavior with the ball on the first test. Let's do this again. Now we have the ball rolling across the road. So Max, I'm just gonna push it a little bit. There we go. Car is fully in control here. We're going over 30 miles an hour. Ball is rolled. It sees it. Oh. I did hit the brake there because I didn't want it to get flung too far away. But it hit it. It showed something on the occupancy network there and then still just like kind of went for it. So, all right, I just want to repeat the ball one more time. I'm going to leave it at 25 and see if maybe a bit slower. We were at about 31, I think, when we hit it last time. If the car will be able to see it going a bit slower. So we're at 25. We're not going to go any faster. The car's fully in control. Here comes the ball. It's braking. Oh, and it does avoid it that time. So a little bit, that was a really nice dodge. So a little bit slower, it does get a dodge. Still, at the faster speeds, it's a computer. It should be thinking and seeing better and faster than us. So even at 30, 31, it should have been able to avoid that. It just didn't last time. All right, so the ball is like a, not exactly a victory for the car, but it did okay with it. It's kind of really middle of the road. Now we're going to try an electric scooter. I'm going to have a full video about this one coming up soon, but we'll see if the car can avoid an electric scooter just sitting in the middle of the road. I think this is a super common scenario. Maybe not at 40 miles per hour, maybe closer to 25 probably, but in cities, they have these scooters all over the friggin' place and people just leave them. So that is a little hard to see. And the car definitely sees it and is thinking about going around. Slows down. I don't want to hit it, so I don't know if it was going to hit it or not, but that's where I took over. I was not very comfortable, but it kind of saw it and did something. All right, so overall, I'm calling the first scooter test a fail because I did have to take over there, and it looks like it was probably going to tap it or hit it right at the end there. And here we go. So we got Stephanie just on the scooter in the middle of the road. Obviously, my foot is on the brake. It already sees her from very far away and is braking. Looks like it's just going to go around. Little close. She didn't seem very happy with that. A little close for my comfort. If that was like a stranger, no way would I have allowed that to happen. That was way too close and too fast. So if the car was going, maybe 10 miles an hour and went around her like that, maybe more appropriate. But the speed was just a little too much for that scenario. Were you comfortable with that?
That was really close to me.
Yeah. And so if you didn't know me, you'd think I was like insane.
Yeah, you'd get a dirty look from me.
Yeah. All right. All right, so static human scooter result, a little disappointing for me. It saw the human from so far back. You think that the car would be smarter and slow down a lot more as we approached, but no. So this time she's gonna be driving out in front of us, and here she comes, and the car is braking. She's going and going, and the car is definitely braking. It has the stop line, and it waits until she moves all the way across. And there you go. So she made it across, and the car waited. So moving objects seem to be a little easier for the car to track and judge. Were you comfortable with that?
Yes, very comfortable.
Okay, good distance and speed and all that?
Yep.
All right, grand finale. We're doing the child mannequin. Now, a lot of people are like, it's not a real kid. In my opinion, it looks close enough to a real kid, and if nothing else, it's road debris. So the car should be able to avoid this, should do something with it. We're going to do this one in stages, so let's get started. We'll keep it at 25 for this one, and we'll start going faster and faster. And then, I obviously can't let the car hit it, it's too heavy. Then we will have Stephanie drag it across the road with the rope and see if that makes any difference as well. So nothing displayed yet, and now it shows some road debris, it's braking. Oh, and an emergency stop, and then it drives around. All right, so here we go. We're going to do the 30 mile per hour test. So I'm just going to push it here, try to get up faster. And then we'll do 40 after this, although the car never makes it that fast. All right, 30. Looks like the car's not even going to get to 30. There we go. And it is, again, braking and moving over. Yeah, it's definitely not. And now it shows a person and alarms and continues past. So it's going around it. It's not. It's not treating it like the Cedar post. Our neighbors coming up. It's just a mannequin. Yeah. Things that we're like sacrificing our child in the road.
I hope not, but you never know.
So let me see if I can get up to 40 here. I'm gonna punch it a little bit so we can get up to speed. And then I let off. So we're going 33-ish, and we're braking already. It's displaying something in the road. So whatever it's seeing, it is moving around it. There we go, and it's firmly got a person. So that time, I think it nailed it. Speed was much better.
It actually did better.
Yeah, speed was much better, but still, like, there's a kid in the road, you should just stop. But, I mean, how'd you feel about the speed that time?
It seemed like it slowed down way more than the other times. Maybe it was just because we were going faster, but it slowed down earlier. It felt, anyway, like it was slowing down earlier and being a little more cautious.
All right, we're going for the walking test. Our setup is not the best, so hopefully it doesn't fall over. We're doing what we can here. So let's just crank it up to 40. I'm gonna push it here for a second. I already see the kid, and now I've let off. So the car is fully in control. It's limiting its max speed. I mean, there's not much I can do about that. It is done limiting, and now the kid is in the road. It's moving slowly, and the car sees it, hits the brakes hard, and does go around it. So, I mean, that was pretty close to the static test, in my opinion, but a much more appropriate result than the first couple we saw. All right, so now we're going for the kid coming out into the road. The kid's off the road. Again, hopefully it doesn't fall over, but, you know, kids fall over all the time, so whatever. We'll see what happens. So here we go. It looks like, yeah, the kid is off to the side of the road. Let me crank up the speed here so it's not letting me. There we go. And the kid is walking out. Here comes the kid. Here comes the kid. The car is stopping. It sees the person, but it's just gonna go right through that string. So, I don't know. The kid wasn't close. The car obviously had plenty of time there, so no big deal.
Right as you drove by, it's like the wind from the car just knocked it right off.
Oh, okay. All right, one last try here. It's basically just we're not able to move it fast enough, so we will modify this and hopefully get it ready for a future drive where we can move the child a little faster. But this is still good enough. Children move pretty slow sometimes, and sometimes they move pretty fast. So there it goes. It's in the road. Is the car going to stop for it? No, it's not going to stop for a fallen over object in the road. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. Let us know what you want to see next time. Peace.